Good evening and thanks for having us. I'm Emily Miller, the Head of Learning and Partnerships for the Migration Museum. I'm here to pitch this evening for your support, which will allow us to deliver our education programme to the end of this year. Here you can see Mayor of London Sadiq Khan engaging with our education programme just last week, and I'll come back to that visit later. Many of you will not have heard of the Migration Museum, and I'm here to change that this evening. Our mission is to establish a national migration museum with a strong education programme, exploring how migration has shaped us as a nation, building community cohesion and fostering a sense of belonging for everyone. We've come a long way since the project started when I joined in the early days 6 years ago. We've had a home just off the river, a temporary home in Lambeth for 2 years, and this has transformed our work and our reach. We're so close, you can nearly see it, you must come and visit us, that's the best way to understand what we're all about. I'm pitching for support for our education programme to bring our current very immersive exhibition Room to Breathe that shares 150 stories of immigration to the UK to as many students as we possibly can, even more than the over 2,500 we've already reached. But just one step back, why are we trying to set up a migration museum here in the first place? As you will all know, migration consistently ranks amongst the most pressing public issues in national surveys. Now our work is more urgent than ever, sitting right at the heart of polarising political debates around immigration, national identity, and our relationship with Europe. For example, this is an infographic from our last exhibition that shows every migration headline from any major national paper in 2016. That's just 2 of the months. It's all around us all the time. We want to contribute to a more reasoned debate. High-profile cases such as the Windrush generation deportations, extremism and radicalisation have highlighted both perceived and real sense of lack of belonging amongst individuals and communities. For children and young people, race hate crime is at a 3-year high according to an NSPCC investigation of all UK police forces. Childline held over 2,600 counselling sessions about race and faith and heard from children how they were being targeted for the way they looked and being told to go back to their own country. So we support schools and students as they struggle in this tense context. Through our exhibition Room to Breathe, here you can see a bit of a silly image with the English breakfast, but we use, yeah, you come and see it. We use at the kitchen table in the exhibition, we have food stories of people's connections with migration in kind of unexpected ways. We humanise and locate contemporary debates within the context of Britain's migration history, promoting greater dialogue and greater understanding. So how does our education programme work? Direct delivery to students is an important cornerstone of our programme and always has been. We deliver interactive workshops to primary schools, secondary schools and university groups, already making contact with primary schools today, this evening, so thank you. These workshops explore the big aim of the Migration Museum and students' own stories, migration stories and connections to migration. If we reach our £6,000 target with you this evening, all of our fingers crossed, your support will allow us to make the absolute best of what this exhibition affords. We'll be able to deliver 40 more workshops, delivering the work to over 840 students. Further, with your financial support, we intend to pay skilled freelancers to deliver these workshops, because I need to be freed up to do some more work on our national outreach. Because we want to be able to reach students and teachers who will never be able to visit a migration museum in London. And can someone please ask me about that in the questions about our national strategy? I don't have time just now. Thank you. So at this... used to be a teacher, very bossy, sorry. At this point, you might need some reassurance that our education programme actually works. So let me try and convince you. Just here we can see children's author Anjali Ralph digging into the migration roots of fish and chips, our pride and joy here. So we evaluate our education programme very rigorously, bringing in data from students, from teachers and lecturers. We need to know at every step if what we're doing works or not. Room to Breathe experiments with immersive story sharing, like I've said, kitchen, bedroom, barbershop. So it's good to know that 84% of students say that they now have a better understanding of personal stories of people who've immigrated to the UK. And following this, just under 2/3 of students say they now feel more positively about people who immigrate to the UK. Beyond the museum, our teacher training also receives positive feedback, and time again we hear from teachers who say that they've used the practical activities and ideas that we share. To end with, I want to share a story of a school that we have a developing relationship with, Harris Westminster Sixth Form, just across the river from us. Rohit, who's in the audience just there, I'm going to have to speed up, brought this group to visit us in January, and then again last week to reflect on the Migration Museum, what we're trying to achieve with the Mayor of London. So this is what Rohit said about working with us, I quote, "Visiting the Migration Museum was an incredibly powerful experience for all of us. Reflecting on the visit, one student realised that it was okay to identify as multiple ethnicities, which gave her immense feeling of confidence that she'd not felt before. Another learnt that he could be proud of his Afghan heritage. Others had conversations with their parents that they'd never thought to have before, and they discussed those with Sadiq Khan. The students were moved to create their own exhibition within the school to share their reflections, educate their peers, and encourage other students and teachers to share their migration stories. Their exhibition was great. We've got some things to learn from them, and hopefully they'll join our youth panel so that they can advise us about how to go about our next exhibition and our future plans. Finally, I think, quick, here you can see Akil, one of Rohit's pupils, and you can find out more about him from Rohit if you need, in the classroom part of Room to Breathe. Last week with the Mayor, he reflected. He said, "My favourite aspect of the visit was the classroom, because one of the stories in there reminded me of my dad's experience arriving in the UK, and I'd not seen that in a museum before." Awesome.